All right, Rockhurst hockey fans, we are here for the second game of the day in Springfield, Missouri. Rockhurst taking on the Wichita Thunder. Rockhurst just finished a game just a little while ago. They beat the Kansas City Stars JV by a score of 63. They've only had about an hour and a half to rest here, and they're back on the ice to play what is usually a very talented Wichita team. So we've got about a minute and a half left in warm-ups here. Sorry, earlier we had a technical difficulty on the broadcast. I think we've got it figured out. If anybody has dialed in, why don't you hit the like button so I can see that we're connecting. Rockhurst is in the blue, and Rockhurst is wearing old jerseys. They don't have this season's jerseys yet, so none of the players have their correct numbers, and you're going to see a lot of names on the back of jerseys from years past. So anybody who's been around the program for a few years will recognize some names of some of the players who've gone on to college, and so it's a little confusing. I'll do the best I can trying to pick players out. We have a lot of new players this year that I'm not familiar with, but we will, by the end of the weekend, hopefully be very familiar with them. Just trying to get the camera adjusted here. Make sure we can see both ends. Looks like we're in pretty good shape. Rockhurst is gathering at the bench. Wichita's down at their net, and we should have a starting line coming out. That was the buzzer indicating the end of warm-ups. Get all these settings right. That's about the best we're going to do right there, I think. Rockhurst is coming out. It's like we have Teddy Houlihan in goal. It does not appear that we're going to be doing any national anthem or announcement of starting line or anything like that. Both teams are coming out. The referees called them to center ice for the puck drop. Puck is dropped. Rockhurst won it. Back to the defense. Rockhurst trying to move it up. Wichita picks it up, skating back, brings it back to their D. Wichita up into the center ice. Wichita dumps it down in. Rockhurst chases. Wichita takes him off the puck, but Rockhurst picks it up. Rockhurst coming up the boards. Rockhurst trying to break it out. Wichita keeps it in. Rockhurst looking for that cross-ice pass, intercepted by Wichita. Wichita circling. Coming in. Blocked by the defense. Houlihan clears it out. Rebound high over the net. Hits the glass. Wichita picking it up. Wichita back to the point. Comes in, hits the side of the goal. Wichita circling around, looking for a centering pass. They put it back to the point. Wichita centering. Wichita gets shot on goal. Save. Houlihan. So we are familiar with this Wichita team. They always have some pretty good players. Face off to the left of Houlihan. Both teams full strength. 1 minute into the game. Shot from the point, blocked. Rockhurst bringing it down the ice, broken up by the Wichita defense. Rockhurst picks up the puck, gets a shot, goes wide. Wichita trying to break it out. Kept in by Rockhurst. Wichita sends it around the boards. Wichita gets it out of the zone. coming down on Rockhurst. Rockhurst breaks it up at the blue line. Rockhurst gets it out of the zone. Wichita comes back, and they are regrouping, looking for a pass. Wichita gets it up to mid-ice, dumps it down into the corner. Down around behind the net, Wichita gets there first. Wichita looking for a centering pass, tipped by Rockhurst. Rockhurst back in the corner, looking for a pass out. Banks it off the boards, dribbles on down the ice, and that's going to be an icing. So that'll come back down into the Rockhurst end. Rockhurst trying to do a bounce pass off the boards, and it ended up going a little long.
That was me. I saw you guys walking that player, and the Jane thought we were going to turn around.
Face off. Rockhurst wins it. Rockhurst pulls it back into the corner, trying to go up the boards. Gets it past the point. It's a foot race. Rockhurst, two guys from Rockhurst, two guys from Wichita. Wichita gets there first, brings it around behind the net, brings it up the boards. Rockhurst intercepts. Rockhurst keeping it in. Wichita trying to dump it out. Rockhurst intercepts it again, sends it around behind the boards. Wichita is there to retrieve it. Flips it out over the Rockhurst defender. Rockhurst breaks it up. Rockhurst picks up the puck but loses it back to Wichita as it goes back and forth in the neutral zone. Wichita coming through with some speed. Rockhurst, nice tip. Poke checks it off the stick of the Wichita attacker. Rockhurst gets it out, dribbles down the ice, does not go far enough for an icing. Wichita regrouping in their own zone. Both teams changing up players. Wichita gets it at the blue line, trying to break in. Wichita back to the point. Back and forth into the slot, and they whiff on the shot, so that goes down into the corner. Rockhurst picks it up along the boards. Rockhurst tipping it out of the zone. There, Wichita regrouping. Wichita with a high flip pass. Tipped by Rockhurst. Shot from the slot. Good save by Houlihan. Rebound gets picked up by Rockhurst. Rockhurst intercepts the pass to the point. Rockhurst still trying to get it out. Slap shot from the point goes wide. Rockhurst picks it up in the corner along the boards. Big hit delivered by the Wichita player. Rockhurst does a bounce off the glass, and it dribbles. Does not make it to the end line, so it's not icing. Rockhurst right behind him to pick it up and take it. Wichita gets it moved through the zone, coming down, beats the defender, goes wide. Puck comes around boards. Wichita picking it up on the point, dumps it back down into the corner. Rockhurst trying to get it in the corner. Rockhurst comes out at the corner with it. Wichita's there on the point to stop him. Rockhurst back in the corner, gets it out of the zone. Wichita defense handling the puck, looking to set something up. Wichita sidesteps Rockhurst player and comes across with a hard shot. Good save by Houlihan, deflects it into the corner. Wichita picks it up behind the net again. Centering pass, broken up by Rockhurst. Great defensive play right in the center. Rockhurst picking up the puck, 2-on-1 with Rockhurst coming through the zone. Shot wide. Wichita picked up the puck, brings it down through the neutral zone, and what do we have here? Looks like it must have been offside. That would be an offside. Face off right in front of the Rockhurst bench. Rockhurst needs a center. There we go. Face off, won by Wichita, back to the defense. Number 17 flying down through the zone. Short angle pass. Houlihan there to snuff it up tight against the post and control the rebound. There's a strong rush by number 17 on Wichita, the guy with the long hair. He's pretty talented. Rockhurst comes away from the face-off with the puck, sends it around behind the boards into the corner. Rockhurst trying to get it out. Wichita keeping the pressure on. Rockhurst finally gets it out of the zone, skating into a 2-on-3. Wichita breaks it up. Back to Rockhurst defense. Rockhurst gets knocked off the puck. Puck goes around behind the boards. Rockhurst dishing it out. Wichita picking it up at the blue line. Rockhurst just trying to fire it out of the zone. Wichita is coming out around the corner up to the point. Intercepted by Coleman. Coleman tries to dish it out, but the Wichita's there to get it. Shot on goal goes wide. Wichita skating out in front of the net. Comes back to the blue line. Long shot deflected out to the corner. Wichita keeping it in. Wichita still looking for that shot. Shot from right in the slot. Houlihan up to the task. Wichita with another shot. That's stopped by Coleman. Goes down into the corner. Around behind the net. Wichita delivers a big hit and keeps the puck in the zone. Now Rockhurst has a chance to get it. Try and ice it down. Coleman coming in on 1-on-2. Long shot, right on goal. Good wrister. Put it right on target. Goalie handled it. Rockhurst changing up now. Okay, face off to the left, the Wichita goaltender. Wichita wins it. Sends it behind the net, trying to take it up the other side. Rockhurst keeps it in. Good stand on the point there. Wichita trying to break it out the other side. Wichita gets through. 2-on-1. Wichita loses the puck. Rockhurst there to get back and interfere with that play. Wichita sends it into the zone, down around behind the net. Rockhurst trying to move it up the boards, but doesn't get much on it. Out to the center, and that's a goal. That was a nice pass out to the defenseman who was coming in through the top of the circle. Goalie was screened somewhat. And good shot, nice accurate shot by the Wichita defenseman. Hit the pipe, and it bounced inward. So pretty accurate shot, tough one to defend, but so that makes it 1-0. 7 minutes left in the first period. Wichita wins the face-off. It shoots it back to Rockhurst defense. Rockhurst sends it down around the corner. Battle along the boards for the puck. Rockhurst comes away with it. Now Wichita intercepted back. Quick shot, quick backhander. Net was knocked off its posts. So the official blew the whistle, but Rockhurst did a good job getting that puck dug out of the corner and dished out to the front of the net for a short-range backhand shot. Face-off, won by Wichita. They send it around to the opposite side, along the boards. Rockhurst breaks it up, keeps it in the zone. Rockhurst trying to shoot. Wichita defender blocks it. Rockhurst on the point, sends it down into the corner. Rockhurst trying to move it to the front, but intercepted by a Wichita defender. Wichita coming out. Wichita breaks out of the zone, coming down fast, looking for a shot. Long shot. Stopped by Houlihan. Hard slap shot deflected in behind the net. Wichita battling for it. Rockhurst trying to get it out. Rockhurst clears the zone. Wichita regrouping. Wichita caught Rockhurst trying to do a line change, and they skated right down the alley there to bring it in front. tried a centering pass, broken up by Rockhurst. From the point, long shot, glove save by Houlihan. Scoops it up and stops play. Face-off to the left of Houlihan. Won by Wichita, back to the point. Long shot from the point, hits traffic, bounces out. Rockhurst picks it up along the boards, clears the zone, puts it out. Wichita has to retreat. Coleman chasing. Coleman chased him down, tapped the puck off. Rockhurst still in the zone. Oh! Rockhurst slipped and took out a Wichita player. It was a big crash. Wichita bringing it down into the corner. Rockhurst bringing it out of the zone. Picked off by Wichita. Back to the Wichita defense, looking to the sideboards here. Wichita just dumps it. Wichita changing players. Rockhurst trying to break it out. That looks like that's going to be an ice. Rockhurst was trying that bounce pass off the boards again, and it went long. So that will come back to the Rockhurst zone. Face off to the right of Houlihan. 4 minutes, 54 seconds left in the first period. Wichita leads 1-0. Shot from the point, hits traffic. Rockhurst bringing it out of the zone, but picked off by Wichita. Now Rockhurst gets it back. Rockhurst coming through, steps on the puck. Oh! Wichita round behind the boards. Rockhurst trying to keep it in. Wichita gets a break. Wichita brings it in behind, passes it out to the defense. He can't handle that pass. It dribbles out of the zone. Wichita circling around, and they were just barely offsides. One of the Wichita players was a little slow getting back across the blue line, and that blew it dead. Wichita definitely having the shots on goal advantage. Rockhurst has had a couple of nice chances, but Wichita is firing away. Face off in front of the Rockhurst bench. Won by Rockhurst, trying to get it out. Back to the Wichita defense in the neutral zone. Rockhurst putting pressure on. Wichita fires it away. Wichita putting a lot of pressure on. They just keep coming. Comes around, short angle shot, goes high of the net, comes up around the boards. Wichita sends it back in right through the slot, missed the pass. Wichita circling. Wichita sends it through the crease, goes all the way to the other side. Wichita picks it up. Now Rockhurst has intercepted it. Rockhurst is breaking out of the zone. Flips the puck out, hits a Wichita defender. Wichita sends it back down to Rockhurst. Wichita's coming right behind it. Short shot, right behind Teddy and through the crease. And that one was a close shot there. Here's another one off the pipe. You probably heard that one. Rockhurst just trying to get the puck out. Wichita coming back down again. Long shot. Saved by Houlihan. Initial glove save, and then Wichita picked up the rebound and put it in. So, a little rebound control there. So it was a heads-up play by Wichita, and they were rewarded for that continuous pressure. They just kept coming and coming, and they got their opportunity. Face off the center ice. Rockhurst ends up with the puck off the face-off, shoots it all the way down. Ref waves off icing. Rockhurst trying to keep that puck in the zone. They do. But Wichita's back there to get it. Wichita sends it up. Intercepted by Rockhurst. blocker save by the goalie on a wide angle shot. Rockhurst back to collect it. Bounce pass off the boards goes back to the Wichita defense. Wichita bringing it down through the zone. Another shot from that short angle, saved by Houlihan. Back behind the net. Wichita keeping it in at the blue line. Wichita sends it around behind, centers one. Wichita player knocked it out of the air. Houlihan was there, moved across the net nicely with the puck as it went across the net, and was there to make a solid save and control the rebound. Face-off will be to the left of Houlihan. Wichita comes away with it. A lot of action along the boards there. Goes down into the corner. Rockhurst sends it around the boards. Wichita picks it up. Brings it right back in. Sharp shot from the top of the circle. Blocked by Rockhurst defense. Rockhurst bringing it up the ice. Rockhurst trying to pass. Hits three defensemen for Wichita. They turn it right around. Wichita snakes through. Oh, they dribble one in. Teddy made the initial save. Kind of bounced up. It just bounced up over his shoulder and dribbled in behind the net. So he had a good angle on him and everything and got a piece of it, just not quite solid enough to knock it down. So that's 3-0 with a minute 13 left in the game. 3-0 Wichita over Rockhurst with a minute left in the first period. Rockhurst trying to clear the zone, intercepted by the defense. Puck bouncing around dangerously. Shot on goal right from the slot. Houlihan puts a glove save on it, controls the rebound. So 55 seconds left in the first period. 3-0 Wichita over Rockhurst right now. And that Wichita attack is pretty relentless. Wichita pushes the face-off into the corner. Several players tied up in the corner. Wichita comes away with it out to the point. Tipped by Wichita. Another tip and a goal. So with 39 seconds left, 40 seconds basically left in the first period, the score is Wichita 4, Rockhurst 0. Come back out to center ice for the face-off. There's the face-off. Wichita pulls it back to their defense. Rockhurst picks it up. Rockhurst coming around trying to clear the zone. They do get it out of the zone. Rockhurst trying to keep the pressure on, but Wichita has turned it back down the ice, and they're coming down in behind the net. Looking for that centering pass. Wichita centers the pass, but it misses everybody and goes all the way down the ice. Got about 10 seconds left. Wichita with one shot, blocker saved by Houlihan. Deflects it out. Another long shot there at the end, goes far wide. That's the end of the first period. So we have a score of Wichita 4, Rockhurst 0. So we will begin the second period here. It will be a 15-minute period. And I don't know if they do the ice in between them or not, but being that it's just a scrimmage type game, they probably won't do the ice. So Wichita putting on a lot of pressure on Rockhurst. Rockhurst has managed to get some decent shots. Houlihan's seen more than his fair share already in the first period here. There's the official indicating he would like the teams to get back out onto the ice. He's ready to drop the puck. Teams have switched directions. It's a little tough to see who's who since they're both wearing dark. They have the same color, dark blue. Wichita is in the all black uniform, and they're now going from right to left on your screen. There's the face-off. Wichita wins it, pulls it back, and Wichita's on the attack again very quickly. Sends it down in behind the Rockhurst net. Rockhurst picks it up, tries to clear it, gets to the blue line, but Wichita keeps it in, flings it in towards the net. It goes behind the net. Rockhurst trying to go up the sideboards. Wichita forechecking heavily. Rockhurst player had a helmet pop off, and that brings an immediate stoppage of play. So I believe he's required to leave the ice once a helmet comes off.
You got your filming?
Yeah.
No cause. Right?
Wichita wins the face-off, sends it back to the point. Wichita dumps it in behind the net. Rockhurst chasing, trying to clear the zone. Wichita takes it out of their own zone. There was Coleman with a long shot on goal from the net. And as I mentioned before, Rockhurst is wearing old jerseys, so nobody's name or numbers match anything that we're used to seeing. So I'll do the best I can to keep you guys informed as to who's doing what. Wichita on the attack. Wichita with a goal. That was the speedster number 17 for Wichita. Came flying down the ice and hit a really crisp pass to center. So that is at 14:07 of the second period. So not even a minute into the second period. And Wichita has a 5-0 advantage. And I believe we'll be in run time now. Once there's a 5-goal lead, the clock goes to running time. Rockhurst putting some pressure on. That one goes all the way down the ice. So that will be an icing on Wichita. Face off to the right of the Wichita goalie. Rockhurst wins the face-off, attempts a shot, hits the Wichita defender. Wichita picks it up, breaks it out of the zone. Foot race. Wichita passes out front, and that's another goal. That was that's at 13:39. The clock does stop when there's a goal or a penalty, I believe, but it doesn't stop for things like icing and offsides. So that is now a score of 6-0 in favor of the Wichita Thunder. Face-off, picked up by Wichita. Wichita sends it down into the corner. Rockhurst trying to deliver a hit, misses. Puck goes behind the net, picked up by Wichita, comes out from behind the net with it. Wichita sends it around the other side, and they send it back. So a little back and forth here behind the net between the two Wichita wings. Picked up on the corner. Coleman tries to fire it out. It hits the Wichita defender, but it's picked up by Rockhurst, rushing it down, puts the brakes on. Wichita intercepts the centering pass. Wichita in a foot race down to the corner, coming around behind the net. Wichita tries to pass it to the center, gets deflected. They dump it back down and behind the net again. Back out to the Wichita point. Deflection by Houlihan, sends it to the back of the boards. Wichita picks it up. Quick shot by Wichita. Wichita breaking on the net. Coleman picks it up. Oh. So a lot of relentless pressure there from Wichita. That makes it score 7-0. Wichita ahead of Rockhurst with 12 minutes 11 seconds left in the second period. Actually, I think only the third period goes to running clock. Second period still seems to be stop clock. But I think the third period will be running. Rockhurst goaltender picks one up, stops play. That face-off will be to the left of Houlihan. Face-off, won by Wichita, broken up by Rockhurst. Quick backhand onto the Rockhurst net, deflected into the corner. Rockhurst trying to break it out. Rockhurst takes it out over the blue line, heading down, getting badgered. Rockhurst with a couple open people. Wichita defender broke it up. Wichita sends it down through the neutral zone. Wichita breaking on the net. Wichita puts a deke on Houlihan and puts one in. That makes it a score of 8-0 in favor of Wichita.
You remember?
Face off, center ice. Wichita brings it back into their own zone. Coming out of their zone with speed. One guy carrying the puck, puts on the brakes, circles around, sends it back to the point. They dump it down into the zone. Rockhurst trying to pass it out, intercepted by Wichita. Comes around behind the net. Rockhurst sends it back the other direction behind the net. Back out to the point for Wichita. Long wrist shot, deflected by Houlihan over to the sideboards. Wichita picks it up behind the net. Rockhurst badgering him. Wichita ends up with it, centers the pass. Not sure what happened there. Oh, it looks like the net. No. I believe that was a goal. Nope, it wasn't. It looks like the net got knocked off its posts, and they blew the whistle as the net had moved away. Face off to the right of Houlihan. Wichita comes away with the puck from face off, but hits it out of their own zone. Wichita trying to move it up through the neutral zone. Wichita sends it in behind the goal. Rockhurst takes it out. Wichita looking once again to send it in, can't handle the bouncing puck. Wichita dumps it in. Rockhurst chases. Rockhurst gets there first, sends it up the boards. Wichita dumps it back down into the corner. Wichita looking for a centering pass, broken up by Rockhurst. Saved by Houlihan. Another save by Houlihan. So Wichita's really firing away here. Face-off is going to be to the right of Houlihan. 10 minutes, 2 seconds left. It is stop time. Somebody did something. Ref blew the whistle. I don't think everybody was quite set for the face-off. So the linesman calls them all back to the circle. He sends the Rockhurst center away. Coleman comes in to take the face-off. Kind of a draw on that one. Puck goes wide. Rockhurst sending it up the sideboards. Rockhurst breaks it out over the blue line. Trying to get a breakaway. Drops the puck. Here comes Thunder. Moving in hard. Great save by Houlihan. Because that guy was flying across the front of the net. Houlihan kept with him. Slid across and put that leg on it. But Thunder is relentless here. They just keep firing away. Thunder trying to put it back to the point, and they miss on that pass. Coleman gives chase. Thunder makes a quick move. They get it out through the neutral zone. Thunder's coming down through. Broken up by Rockhurst defense. Great defensive play to break that one up. Here comes Rockhurst trying to break it out. Rockhurst coming out over through the neutral zone. Thunder dumps it back down into the Rockhurst zone. Rockhurst trying to get it out. Look, they called it offside. It looked like he stopped it at the blue line, but apparently the ref saw it go over. Couldn't quite tell from here. So they do call that an offside. We have 8:47 left in the second period. The score is Wichita 8, Rockhurst 0. Wichita picks it up at the point, skates into the center of the ice. Long shot, deflects high up into the glass. Rockhurst and Wichita battling for it. Rockhurst comes out in the corner with it, heading up through the zone. Long pass, cross ice. Here comes Rockhurst coming in on goal. Good shot. Nice shot, but the goalie deflected it high over the net. Rockhurst gets it, backhand shot. Rockhurst trying to get it again. Quick shot by Rockhurst. Rockhurst getting a couple shots here on goal. Broken up at the blue line by Rockhurst, but Wichita brings it right back. Here comes Wichita with a hard shot. Good blocker save by Houlihan. Goes high back into the corner. Wichita at the point, taking another shot. Broken up by the Rockhurst defender. Wichita along the boards, loses the puck. Rockhurst bringing it out. Cross ice pass. Wichita turns it around. They're coming back over the blue line. 2-on-2. Pass right across the goal line. That was a great pass by the Wichita right wing, who was able to shuffle that between two Rockhurst defenders. Right between two Rockhurst defenders over to the open man for Wichita, who was skating right in on net. So that makes the score 9-0. Rockhurst breaks it up in front of the net, clears the zone. Wichita defender picks it up. Rockhurst, clears it down into the Wichita zone. Rockhurst trying to get a line change. Coleman keeps it in, passes across the center. Didn't connect on that. Wichita picks it up in the corner. Back out to the Rockhurst point. He fires one in, deflected by Wichita down into the corner. Coleman picks it up, puts it back to the point. They couldn't handle the pass, and it dribbled out to the zone. Rockhurst trying to get it. Coleman picks it up. Long cross-ice pass, nobody home. Wichita picks it up, sends it back down to the neutral zone. Wichita just dumps it in around the net. Wichita racing, gets there first, but Rockhurst is there to badger him. Rockhurst comes away with it, sends it up the sideboards. Coleman poke checked away at the blue line. Wichita back to their defense. They regroup. Rockhurst along the sideboards tries to clear it. Kept in by the Wichita defense with a high deflected shot that Houlihan grabs out of the air like a right fielder. Face off, won by Wichita. Back to their defense. Wichita circling, brings it into the corner, tries a centering pass, broken up by Rockhurst in front of the net, but it bounces Wichita's way. They get a quick shot, smothered again by Houlihan. 5:19 left in the second period. Score Wichita 9, Rockhurst 0. Shot from the point by Wichita, blocked. Almost connected with Coleman on a long pass. Didn't quite get it. The goaltender had to smother it. So that was a heads-up play there to get that puck moved up the ice. They just didn't quite connect by about a few inches. Let's see if they can keep something going here. Face-off. Won by Rockhurst. Rockhurst tries to get a quick shot. Deflects in. Hits the goalie eventually, and he smothers it again for another face-off. 5:03 left in the second period. Back to the point. Goes wide. Rockhurst has to hustle back to get it. Trying to clear it out, but Wichita intercepts the pass. Rockhurst coming up the ice. Taken away by Wichita. And we have a 2-on-1. Rockhurst hustling back. Wichita fires it in. It goes behind the net and bounces out in front. Houlihan smothers it there. Rockhurst changing lines. Wichita changing lines. Everybody getting fresh skaters out. 4 minutes, 39 seconds left in the second period. Wichita 9, Rockhurst 0. Face off to the right of Houlihan. Rockhurst comes away with it. Rockhurst trying to move it up. Kept in at the blue line by Wichita. Rockhurst goes behind the net to retrieve it. And it looks like the scrum behind the net caused the net to get knocked off its pipes again. Referees are adjusting that. There will be a face-off to the left of Houlihan. Face-off. Picked up by Rockhurst, but intercepted by the Thunder. Thunder coming in hard, passing it out in front. And that was a easy shot for the lone Wichita attacker standing on the corner. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left. And that would be 10-0 in favor of Wichita. Face off at center ice. Wichita wins the face-off, back to the defense. They skate across the red line and dump it in. Wichita chases. They get there first, but Rockhurst able to break up the pass. Rockhurst coming out, pass cross ice. Broken up by Wichita. Wichita turns it back the other way, heads into the corner, looking for a centering pass. Rockhurst pokes the puck away. Here it comes, 1-on-0. And it's a goal. Rockhurst gets a goal on a broken up play in their own end, and they get the puck and head on down the ice. So Rockhurst is on the board at 3 minutes 36 seconds left in the second period. Puck is dropped. Rockhurst wins. They send it back to their defense, trying to send it up the boards. Thunder intercepts. Rockhurst breaks up that attack. Rockhurst gets it out of the zone. Wichita takes it away on the boards. Wichita coming in on the far side. Shot. Blocked by Houlihan. Rockhurst tries to send it out. Wichita stops it at the blue line. Wichita behind the net. They send it back the other side behind the net. Rockhurst hitting him along the boards, but Wichita still has it. Centering pass. Rockhurst clears it out of the zone. Wichita picks it up in their own zone. Both teams changing on the fly. Wichita taking advantage of that. Wichita coming through, gets it blocked away, and Wichita centered it, and they scored a goal. So nope. Oh no, they didn't. I guess the net moved. They're having trouble with this net. It keeps moving all over the place. One of the players knocked it in the goal, but that was after the whistle. Back to the point for Wichita. Deflected by Coleman up into the netting as the defenseman was trying to blast a shot from the point. Rockhurst sends it into the corner. We'll scrum along the boards. Rockhurst comes away with the puck. Rockhurst breaking down the ice, looking. And there's a shot. It goes wide. Not sure what they called there. Even the linesmen are confused. Wichita sending someone to the penalty box. I think it might have been a too many men. Too many men on the ice. Not that they need extra players. Okay. I think they got that sorted out now. Oh, wow. They put two guys in the box. So was there a 10-2? Everybody's pretty confused, including me. As Wichita has two guys in the box now. Wichita deciding to change up some players for their penalty killing unit. So Wichita has 4 skaters, Rockhurst has 5. So there's 2 guys in the box for Wichita. There must have been a 10-2, which I did not see. Rockhurst with a quick shot on goal and knocks the net off. So Rockhurst quickly able to take advantage of that one-man advantage and get a shot off. Still don't have any clarification as to what the penalty situation was, but Rockhurst, with 1 minute 57 left in the period, Rockhurst has a minute 50 on the penalty. Rockhurst attempts a shot, blocked by the Thunder. Rockhurst trying to hit it back up the zone. Rockhurst picks it up, tries to shuffle it forward. Thunder breaks it up. Thunder skating around with it, trying to kill some time. They flip it out. Rockhurst defense picks it up, passes it over to the other defenseman. Rockhurst moving it up the sideboards. Minute 25 left in the period. Wichita coming down. Wichita trying to circle around, looking for somebody and just killing time in general. Wichita passes it over. Rockhurst defender stops it with his right in the gut. So he had to feel that one. Wichita playing with it back in their own zone. Rockhurst on the attack. Wichita sends it up the boards. Thunder is attacking. Thunder has two men chasing it. Stopped by Houlihan. Rebound comes back to the Thunder, who's behind the net. Net's moving all over the place. Fans are getting a little impatient with the continuous stoppage of play here because of this net. They've probably put that net back in place 8 or 10 times here, I'd say. Face off to the left of Houlihan. Rockhurst has 31 seconds left in their power play. Okay, Rockhurst picks up the puck. They're coming out of the zone. We've got a 3-on-2. Rockhurst coming through, trying to pass it. Couldn't quite handle it. Coleman breaks it up, but Thunder picks it up, and they flip it all the way down the ice. 7 seconds left in the penalty. That will pretty much kill off the penalty for the Wichita. Rockhurst coming out. Coleman picks it up on the sideboards. Coming down the ice. Loses the puck. And that will be the end of the period. So after 2 periods of play, Wichita 10, Rockhurst 1. Wichita has always had that relentless attack, and they're sure putting that to use today as they just keep coming after the puck and after the play. But at least Rockhurst has shown a little life and had a nice breakaway and a really nice goal. They will not be doing the ice between periods. They're just going to keep skating, and the third period will be running time instead of a stop clock. As I mentioned before, it's after one team is up by 5 goals, the third period automatically goes to running time. And one of the Wichita fans is yelling at the ref, and the ref just kicked him out. The ref is ejecting him from the arena.
Remember, you're getting paid.
You just said what we're all thinking.
Remember, you're getting paid. That's why you're pissed.
And the official kicked the Wichita player out. Wichita was, as I mentioned, very impatient with the net, and I think most of the fans are impatient with the net bouncing off the net. The Wichita fan was accusing Rockhurst of pushing the net off its position intentionally, and they want a penalty on Rockhurst. But there's just a lot of hitting and bouncing off behind the net. There's been a lot of physical play, and these nets are not secured very well. And I think that fan was very much in the wrong for that type of behavior. Okay, face-off. Eventually picked up by Wichita. They send it down around in behind the net. We're in the third period here. Rockhurst tries to send it out of the zone. Thunder pick it up, intercepted by Rockhurst, trying to put it back to their point, but they accidentally sent it to Wichita, which coming on a 2-on-1 shot from the short angle. Slap shot from the point. That one goes up into the netting, deflected up into the netting. So that will bring a stoppage of play, but the clock is stopped too. I thought the clock would be running. Apparently that rule is not in effect in this game. So the clock is stopped at 14:22. Rockhurst flips it, high flip shot up out of the zone, but it goes out of play. That could be a penalty for delay of game, but I don't know if they're going to call that or not. As Rockhurst flipped it up trying to just clear the zone, and it ended up flip-flopping over into the Wichita bench. But they do bring it all the way back down into the Rockhurst zone for a face-off to the right of the Rockhurst goaltender. Rockhurst shuffling a few people around. Both teams full strength. Wichita sends it over to the point, shoots one in, deflected. Wichita couldn't keep it in. Rockhurst brings it out across the blue line. Wichita back on their blue line, bringing it up, trying to get it into the zone. They pass across. Wichita looking for a centering pass. They get one, but knocked off the puck right away. Puck bouncing around. Wichita trying to get a handle on it, but they couldn't. And the Rockhurst goaltender ended up with the save. Wichita wins the face-off, back to the point. Tries a slap shot, but whiffs, and it just dribbles down into the corner, but it's back to the point again. He shoots it wide through the slot. Rockhurst picks it up in the corner, trying to break it out. Stopped at the blue line by Wichita. Wichita back to the point, trying to get a shot. Gets one in. Pad save by the goalie. Wichita back to the point again. Thunder bringing it around behind. Not sure what happened. We had a cross check there. And that was a cross check on Wichita. 12:19 left in the third period. Wichita leading by a score of 10-1. So because of the penalty, that face-off goes down into the Wichita zone. And Wichita has one player in the box for 2 minutes. Rockhurst wins the face-off, back to the point. Shot on goal, blocked by the defender. Wichita coming out with it. They hold up to regroup. They're shorthanded, so they're just playing with it. They fire a long one all the way down the ice. Rockhurst has to come back and get it. Wichita chases after him, forechecking on that shorthanded play. Here comes Rockhurst out of the zone, up the sideboards. Rockhurst fires it into the corner. Wichita around behind their own net, just killing time. Wichita just trying to waste time there. They shoot it up the sideboards. Rockhurst picks it up in their own zone. Rockhurst across the ice. Rockhurst shoots it to the Wichita defender. Comes all the way down, and he scores. Wichita just scored a shorthanded goal from their own blue line. He was just firing it just to throw it away, and it slipped. It was a bouncy, wobbly puck that bounced right over the goalie's stick and right between his legs. So he's not feeling good about that one, I'm sure, but it was a bit of a weird shot, kind of a knuckleball that bounced just in front of the goaltender and trickled in. So with 10:45, we now do have a running clock. The score is 11-1. Thunder picks it up behind their own net. Looking to do something with it. They fire it down. And that's going to just about do it for the penalty kill. Rockhurst there to pick it up. They get along the sideboards. Pass to center. Goes down into the Thunder zone. Thunder behind the net. Thunder shoot it around behind the Rockhurst net. Rockhurst back in the corner, trying to pick it up. Thunder kicking through. Thunder trying to center it. They put it out. Thunder knock it out of their own zone accidentally. Thunder pick it up. They're coming back through the neutral zone looking for a shot, 2-on-1. Number 97 with a hard shot on goal. Saved by the Rockhurst goaltender. Rockhurst defense pick it up. It's all the way down the ice for an icing. It's running time. We have just over 9 minutes left in the third period. Wichita 11, Rockhurst 1. Face off to the left, the Rockhurst goaltender. Wichita wins the face-off, tries to fire one through traffic. It hits traffic and bounces into the opposite corner. Wichita picks it up again, dumps it down in behind the net. Rockhurst there to pick it up, but Wichita after him. Wichita comes away with it. Wichita doing a good job keeping that in. Hard shot, goes high. Gets the back of the net. Rockhurst trying to break it out. Wichita keeping it in. Wichita fighting for it. Rockhurst breaks up the play. Coleman shovels it over to the wing. Still unable to get that puck out of the zone. Rockhurst trying to make a play happen through the neutral zone. Rockhurst brings it in. Looking for a centering pass. Coleman shoots. Save. Oh, my goodness. Coleman was blocked on the first one, and then the puck bounced behind the goalie, and they couldn't quite get it. And one of the Thunder was able to clear it from behind the goaltender. That was a close play there. That was a close call. Rockhurst really playing some heads-up play. Wichita bringing it in. Here's Coleman with it again. Picks it up, circles around. He's coming down the ice, gets it poke checked away. Thunder knocks it down into the Rockhurst zone. Both teams trying to change. Thunder brings it down along into the corner. Back to the point for the Wichita. Wichita trying to move it in again. Rockhurst clears the zone. Rockhurst trying to get a pass over to the center, but it's broken up by Wichita. Just under 6 minutes left in the third period. Wichita up the sideboards, but they decide to bring it back down into the corner. Wichita just flips it out high into the neutral zone. Rockhurst knocks it back. Rockhurst keeping some pressure on, keeping the puck in the zone. Wichita is able to slip it out through the zone. Rockhurst hits it in offsides, but they come back to tag up. Wichita picks up the puck. High shot, deflected by the goaltender back up into the glass behind the net. And that puck comes all the way out of the zone. Wichita brings it back into their own zone, trying to regroup as they're changing, both teams changing lines. Rockhurst trying to just dump it in. They dump one in, long shot on goal from the center line all the way down to the goal. Rockhurst keeping pressure on in the zone. Shot from Rockhurst on goal. That goal moved again. Wichita picks it up along the side, passes it over to the other defenseman, looking for that cross-ice pass. They're breaking in. Wichita behind the net, looking to center it. Back to the point, slap shot, high and wide, comes around the other side of the rink. Wichita circling with it, trying to put something on net. Wichita picks up the shot from behind the net. Wichita battling for it. Wichita picks it up on the point, skating in, close range shot from the slot, from the top of the circle, basically. So good effort there by Wichita to create a shot opportunity. We have 4.5 minutes left, and the clock is running. Score is Wichita 11, Rockhurst 1. Face-off won by Rockhurst. They pick it up along the boards, but Wichita comes after them. Wichita get its clean opportunity, shoots it high and wide coming in from the point. Back to the other point again. Wichita looking to pass. They pass it down into the corner. Rockhurst there to badger him. Rockhurst takes it away. Rockhurst gets it out of the zone. He gives chase. Oh, Rockhurst trying to clear it, hit their own goaltender, and it bounced out in front. Luckily, it didn't bounce the other way. Wichita passes it up into the neutral zone. Wichita shoots high. They're just flinging the puck down there towards the net at this point, as soon as they get anywhere near it. Shot picked off by Wichita. Slinging a backhand. Wichita turns that one around really quickly, and the goaltender was in good position to snuff that one out from short range and handle the rebound too. Face off to the right of Rockhurst goaltender, and the Thunder come away with it. Quick backhand shot up to the goalie. Thunder whiffs on a shot from the slot. Puck goes back into the corner. Rockhurst picks it up in the corner now, trying to get it out. And they get it past the defense. And here comes Rockhurst coming in hard shot, saved by the goaltender with a pad save. Rockhurst broke that one out and really flew. Thunder trying to pass out to center. Rockhurst passes it back down in. Ooh, big hit by Rockhurst. Rockhurst picking it up again, trying to break it down, and that was offside. Rockhurst offside with 1:50 left and the clock ticking. Score 11-1, and nobody's really rushing to get the play going here, but both teams at full strength here. Rockhurst won the face-off, but hits it wide. Rockhurst dumps it down in around the boards, all the way around down into the corner. Rockhurst trying to keep it in the blue line, but the Thunder push it out. But Rockhurst back to get it on defense, but the Thunder just keep on coming. Rockhurst needs to watch it there. There's a cross-check from behind that they didn't get called on. Thunder hit it around behind the net. Rockhurst keeps it in at the blue line. Thunder there to intercept it. 45 seconds left in the game. Rockhurst down behind their own net. Rockhurst picks it off, centering pass, trying to clear the zone. Thunder keeps it in, takes it in towards the net. Rockhurst fires one all the way down the ice. 21 seconds left, and the clock is ticking, so I doubt we're going to get another face-off by the time they get the puck and whatever. I think this will pretty much do it. 10 seconds, counting down. The ref's taking his sweet time there, and the players aren't stepping up, so that will do it for today. Final score, Wichita 11, Rockhurst 1. So it's a very tough Wichita team, as always. We've seen these guys quite a few times over the years, and they just keep reloading with their talent. So that'll do it for today for our games. Rockhurst has 2 matches tomorrow, and those will be posted out on the website, so you can tune in for those. And it was a tough day at the office for the Rockhurst Hawklets, as the Wichita Thunder is looking pretty good. So we will see you tomorrow. We'll tune in tomorrow, and just check the website or the Facebook page for the games, for the game times. That's all for today. Thank you.